Here we are in part two. If you made it this far, congratulations. I had to take a break there to get started with this one. Now, to recap a little bit of what I was talking about, as far as the relationship is concerned, and I stopped off on the girl talking about having friends, or when you are friends with your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriends, okay? The whole idea of how I'm presenting this is for two things that I'm pretty sure that me and brother Tom Likas have had in mind, and it's safety, and it's also procuring or preventing the enemy from coming in. All right, that's the whole idea. Safety, because you avoid yourself from having STD, sexually transmitted diseases, by allowing yourselves to flip-flop back and forth from relationship to relationship. How this happens is when there is a third party in your relationship with a different title called friend. The only friends that should be with that person to keep it safe would be the same sex, such as a woman. She has woman friends. If it's a dude, he should have dude friends or men friends. If there is a female friend in the corner, the odds that she is not really a friend is higher. The random possibilities is higher. The crippling effect of being a liability in your relationship is higher. Why would you be dumb enough and immature enough to allow something like that to happen? Because even if it never happened as a problem in your relationship, it will. And when things get bad, she's not going to run to you. She's going to run to them, because that's why they're on the web. So if you touch it, you move it, you keep it for the sake of safety. You got it where you know you are this only person, or the only person in your partner's life. When you let everybody else come in, she's going to be persuaded. Yes, I have a rule that I'm going to be speaking for men and supporting men in this. So you'll say, well, men do it too. Well, yeah, that's nice, but I'm doing my diligence here. You understand? Most of my studies is for men, even though you can learn something from it as well, but it's basically for men. Okay, men who need to get their card back and pick up their testicles off of the ground and attach them where they're supposed to be. Because a lot of them left it behind. So the answer would be absolutely not. But guess what? You'll be fascinated. You'll be fascinated because the young lady that I was talking to in the group, guess what? Guess what, Neo, and you who want to argue and be silly. Be silly somewhere else. Go watch Sesame Street, child, not here. There ain't no Big Bird on my channel. All right. You want something else? Go somewhere else and get that something else, not here. I talk straight. So the girl understood what I said. Once again, she puts her hands up and said, yeah, I was in a situation like that before, and I did have a guy friend. And actually, we were friends for like 12 years, and I thought he was okay with it. And when I told my boyfriend that this was my friend, the boyfriend was kind of okay with the situation. But over time, my friend that's been with me for about 12 years, he kept trying to push up on me. He kept giving me hints that he wanted me to donkey dunk with him. He wanted me to get away from the guy that I was with. He started talking about my boyfriend. He started saying things like, oh, well, I guess if he can't do it, I'll do it. Oh, I'm sure he's too weak at that. Give me a try and I'll show you that I'm better than him. This is what the girl said. I'm telling you what a woman said, a girl who is in the situation. So she began to tell me, or us, the guys in the group, and while they were just shaking their head like, oh, I get it. She began to explain the situation in detail that I can't give it to you now. But the rundown of it, she said, basically her friend, her guy friend, and others who came to life, they weren't really her friends. They were guys who she knew was a backup plan. And at the same time, they really didn't want to be friends. They were waiting for her. And they made it clear on the often that they wanted her in that way. And therefore she had to break it off. One of the guys she broke off because she realized how wrong it was. And another guy who came along, this guy gave her ultimatum. That's right. One of her friends gave her an ultimatum, and this was one of her colleagues. But she thought he was cool with her being with with a guy, having a boyfriend. And he didn't show any signs that he was interested in her to donkey dunk or be anything special. So she thought it was okay. Here we go. Not understanding the enemy. Here we go again. Just like I would have said, a wolf in sheep's clothing. And guess what happened? This guy gave her an ultimatum and said, you know what? I can't stand you being with that dude. Oh, you should be with me. If you ain't gonna be with me, I think it's wrong. This ain't even working out there. I'm just gonna leave if you ain't gonna be in a relationship with me. That bleep, bleep, bleep can't do what I can do. Why are you with that dude? He ain't nobody. I can take better care. So you go ahead and be with him. So I thought you was my friend, trying to guilt trip her. I thought you was my friend. How you gonna hang out with him? How you gonna make him your man? Well, I guess you wasn't a friend all these years. So, you come holler at me whenever you get done dumping him. That's this dude, right? This is the guy. This is the man who you say, oh, it's okay that she have a man friend. That's the man friend who's in a corner that you'll never detect is the enemy. That's the guy who say, oh, I'm her physical personal doctor. I'm her physical trainer. I'm her yoga instructor. I'm her mentor. I'm her friend. I'm her person that we met each other. We was in high school together. And all we are is just trying to pick up the pieces where we left off. Oh, I grew up with her. I'm not interested in her. She was like a tomboy when she was like 3 years old. Yeah, I used 3 years old just to be silly. Yeah, she was like a tomboy ever since she was a kid. We would never do anything like that. That's the same guy. That same guy who, when she come to you and she say, oh, we can't be together any longer. Or, we just wasn't meant to be. Or here comes some of you, for you, God Almighty. Some of you truly gone and lofty minded individuals. Let's take a break from our relationship for a while. Let's take a breather and come back afterwards. So she can, and you go out and have fun with the people that you really wanted to donkey dunk with and be with. Experiment with them, have fun, then come back to your so-called stable relationship, which really isn't stable. Just most likely y'all benefit from maybe somewhat financially or whatever ties you have in between. Not really wanting to let go. So you're satisfied with being a part of her web and very stable in your senseless behavior of thinking that it's going to be quality for you in your future. So therefore, what happens is you end up getting shafted. So therefore, it's no good. No matter how you look at it, there should be a boundary and a wall there to say, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And again, the girl understood this. And when she explained the situation, she said, I have no guy friends. I have a couple of female friends. If I want a friend, I got them to talk to and hang out with. But my guy friend is my boyfriend, as it should be. That's why he's called a boy friend. A husband is supposed to be the same thing. Y'all just take things too seriously. But he's supposed to be the same thing. Why should she need the energy from another guy when you are a guy? Are you a girl? Are you that pathetic and blue pill that you can't provide her with your own masculinity? That's a key sign right there that you are a beta. That's the key sign. If she has to have guy friends and you are a guy yourself, that lets you know you're not a guy. You're a little girl in a man's body. That means you have no testosterone. You can't provide no masculinity for this woman to lead her any damn where. You got that? So the evidence is the fact that she have other men to do what you can't do because you ain't man enough, because you're not adult enough to handle your business as a man in the relationship. She has to find somebody else to provide for her where you cannot. So it should also be a shameful tactic for you. It should be a blasphemous situation towards your manhood and a debasement of the quality and pride that you are supposed to have within yourself. That subject is done. Let's move on. Before I start talking about that for another 40 minutes. We had a conversation about religion and getting through the two religious guys that was in the circle of the debate, which was very, very, very much of a sickening feeling in my stomach, and I sort of regretted putting us together. And I know you're wondering how come I didn't make it publicly known, right? How come I didn't make a YouTube channel out of that video and seeing us sitting around talking to each other? Because I want to keep their identity safe. I want to keep their, because it's none of your business. Just know that it happened. And too much information is too much information. You got a lot of this already on YouTube. If you don't know where it is, you are a child, and give your cell phone back to your mommy or your daddy, okay? And stop playing with a toy that you're not mature enough to use. You got it? You heard it here, right? So there's no need to go above and beyond nowadays. We got too much information. So as I always do, I keep it simple. If you don't like the simplicity and natural way I deliver the messages, okay, I'll always say, you don't like it, too bad. Get the hell out. I don't appease to ignorance nor weakness here. Never did, and I never will. So, we begin to talk about the renewed mind. So, the two guys standing there who was of a different religious background, they begin to state that when they were growing up, they didn't have too much of a direction in life, but religion gave them a renewed mind. Religion gave them a peace of mind. And one of the Christians that were there, he said, yes, he said, God renewed my mind. In the biblical text, God renewed my mind. Now, this as well could be very long, because I got wow, I can't tell you how many pieces of audio that I have right now available for you on this subject specifically. You have to be a senior in my class to comprehend how deep it is. But to give you a rundown and condense this the best way I know how. All right. So basically what he is saying, and when individuals say something like that, is the only way for you to get your mind straight is to put your mind in an indoctrinated book, a program that had to be written for you, because as you was a natural, or supposed to be a natural individual, you could not depend on your own thinking. You can't depend on your own mind. And as a matter of fact, they program you in your religious circles to never depend on your own mind. They say things like, lean not onto your own understanding. Then you have other passages of the Bible that tell you something like, what was that? Faith without which no man should see the Lord. And there's other things like faith without action, that you got to participate, pray, and continue on, blah, blah. Right? Do your corrections for somebody else. I don't care. I know what y'all thinking now. Oh, you got it wrong, Morpheus. You are destroying the passage of the Bible. That's not what it said. And guess what? Guess what? When you do that, when you put that in the comments box, you let me know just how gone you are, because the first thing come out of your mouth is, that's not what it said. That lets me know. Listen, that lets me know that you are that same person who have to go by what somebody else said or a book said, to where you are so inclined with it, where you are able to say, oh, you know what? No, pastors in this such and such verse in scripture, it said this, work without which blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, yay. We got a Dumbo in our classroom. Congratulations. Oh, we got a piety idiot here. Hey, I got a hat for you. It's called Dummy. And there's some balloons there that say, I don't think for myself. So you can sit down in a chair, okay, play with this tape for a little while, All right. Try not to tape yourself around. Okay. And as a matter of fact, I got a straight jacket that's in my Lexus trunk. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give that to you, and you wear that for a little while, because I think you're going to hurt your damn self, because you hate yourself, because you don't think for yourself. Because what you are saying is, here we go, what you are saying, what somebody else said. Ladies and gentlemen, a moment of silence for a minute here. I didn't ask you, when you are in the debate, when you're having a conversation of life and reality, you don't go to the system or the debate circle or conversation with somebody and say what somebody else said. We are asking you what you said. I don't care about what the Bible said or your religious text. I said what you said, buddy. Why would you sit there and say, well, in Chronicles, in Leviticus, in Exodus, and Nehemiah, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, back in Revelations in chapter 4, it said, he said, it said. Here we go. Listen to the pattern. It said, he said, it said, he said, it was said that here, she said, it was said, yes, it was said. There was a preacher that was interviewed on YouTube by a very good YouTuber. And this person that was interviewed was a minister. And when they were being interviewed, they were asked the question, do they really believe in what they are teaching? And how do they feel or think about the direction the world is going in? You want to know what the pastor said, or that, I think it was a minister. You want to know what that minister said? Well, they said this. Y'all need to really get on what I'm trying to say. Y'all really need to catch what Morpheus is saying. Look, they said this. Well, it did say in Romans chapter 5 verses something, right, that this was such and such, such and such. So, yeah, every question that the interviewer, I think this must have been Jesse. I think this must have been Jesse when Jesse interviewed a pastor or a minister. And when he asked the question, he said, no. What is your personal thoughts on the situation? Every time, instead of answering the question directly, the minister will always say, well, in chapter so-and-so, it did say, and then here we go. Here's another thing. The Bible said that, in the first pages of Chronicles, it said that, in Genesis, there was with Moses, blah, blah. Never in the interview did that escape, that this insane asylum escapee, right, with a head full of pills, all right, and probably half off of something else that we don't even know about, directly answered the question and said, I. The only time with these indoctrinated Agent Smith say I. Listen, I need y'all to catch up. I'm doing this for you. Listen, Morpheus is doing this for you. I need y'all to catch on to what I'm saying. The only time they said I was when they said, I am a doctor of, I have a PhD of, I graduated from, I know this, I come from this, I have established this, I've been doing this for this long. That's the only time they answered the question directly and said, I. You got me? But in every other part of the conversation, it was what the Bible said, or it said, or yes, God said, or he said, or it was said in the text about this subject. Are y'all getting what I'm saying? So when you are looking at it yourself as a personal individual and you are saying, this Bible, this book, this religion is giving me a renewed mind. You are trading your natural God given or universe given mind and whatever your perception is. For me, it's the universe and nature. Okay. For an indoctrinated book written in somebody else's hand, somebody else's perception and interpretation. Yeah, I call it that. Get over it. This is how I pronounce it. An interpretation and their perception of reality. So that means you brainwash yourself. So how on a donkey that smells funny with the ugly tail, big lips, bald nose, and short gonna tell you that you have a renewed mind by reading from somebody else's book? Are you that self-hating and you got that much of low self-esteem? You don't have enough self-esteem to understand or to believe in yourself. There's nothing more powerful to believe. Listen, even if you're wrong, there's nothing more powerful than for you to believe in yourself and your own words and your decisions. That's being a man. Do you understand? That's in the realm of alpha. That's in the realm of alpha, to believe in yourself, to listen, to say, well, I may be wrong, but this is my decision. Yeah, the Bible said this, but guess what? I said, and I know. Not I feel, I said I know, and I said. Even if you think I'm wrong and you don't believe on what I'm saying, I'm going to say it because I'm saying it, and I'm going to back myself up because I'm man enough to do it. If you don't like it, shut the hell up and pack your stanky bags and get out. That's alpha. You got it? That's being a man. That's putting your drawers back on and acting like you got some sense. To bleep that out. Not sitting there on a pulpit or a chair, folding your legs, wearing a dress, talking about, well, he said, well, in chapter, well, it did say, what, you ain't man enough to be confident in what you say? You're not man enough or preacher enough. Here we go. No, here we go. You're not truth enough to tell the truth and talk about how you really feel and what you really think about what the interviewer is saying. You can't put your own words and spin on it. Oh, because the program says for you not to think for yourself. That's why. Because the program say if you disagree with the Bible or the religious text, that you are automatically a sinner and you are wrong. That's why. Because you was raised up with the leash around your throat, whereas your definition of a man is a dog who's going to be led around life being told what to do and fed slop. That's your problem. And you think it's okay to get into a debate or a circle with people and tell them what other people think by a biblical or a book, instead of you speaking like an average, common, decent, sensible, well-educated human being who's accountable for their own words and their action. You got to blame the Bible. You got to blame God. You got to blame the devil. You got to blame Castle the Friendly Ghost and your stupidity. And not admit that you are. There is no better self-defeating for you to sit there in a debate or a circle with people and you got a book under your arm in order to what do you call that? To back you up, in order to support you, in order to debate or to have a conversation with someone. When I meet people, my hands are in my pocket. There's not going to be a book in front of me. I'm not going to be reading. I'm going to be telling you what Morpheus say. You don't like it? Too bad. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you think about the situation. Well, I went in an encyclopedia and this word said, I'm going to say, you know what? Take you and your Webster and you being Poindexter out of here. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem right here and right now. All right. You're talking to a man. You're not talking to a boy. I can care less what you pull out of your pocket. Okay. This is a face-to-face conversation. Men speak man talk. Man talk is I said, not what he said, she said. That's girl stuff. Oh, in Exodus, it said this in chapter 4. And I'd be like, wait a minute. Wait. Pump your ugly looking brake. Wait. Close your mouth because your breath stink. For first, please do that because you offended me. First of all, close your mouth because your breath stink. That's what you need to do first and foremost. Okay. Second, you are a leader of people and all you know how to do is read from a book. All you know how to do is explain the world in your perception based on deception and indoctrinated programming from people who you never even met and don't know anything about and never even been around. You can't go to the library and at least get an encyclopedia. I would at least expect you with 1 point from that. You get 1 point coming up with an encyclopedia, at least. You're not coming with a renewed mind. The Bible, your religious idea isn't giving you a renewed mind. What happens is this. When you are this bumbling type of person who have no self-control, don't have a belt around your waist, you don't have a foundation to stand on, the world has to give you one and you call it a name. You got that? When you have no foundation, you can't stand up on your own self. You got low confidence and low self-esteem and you are lost in your mind. The world will give you one. It's called indoctrinated programming. That's the basic foundation of the matrix. And therefore you'll think, well, religion gives me a renewed mind. I guess it has to. I guess it has to give you direction because you can't direct yourself. You can't be a man and stand up and create your own reality. You can't dig and find your own facts because you need people to spoon feed you facts. That's not facts. They're lies. Anytime somebody got to spoon feed reality to you, it's not reality. It's a lie. What I do is I give you the spoon. You bend the spoon. The spoon don't bend. You understand? The brick don't hit back. Busting your fist through a wooden block isn't going to hit back. You are the one who's active. You take the spoon, you dig it in the ground, and you feed your damn self. And stop acting like a little boy. Talking about, well, God did say that. God said what? Listen, you are holding the Bible in your hand. You are doing that. You open up the Bible or whatever religious text you got, and you use your little bitty stubby finger and greasy and you skim it across the little pages made of some type of paper, because a lot of stuff is recycled, and you are the one who read it, not God. You do that, and you are the one who believe it. You are the one to take it into your subconsciousness. You are the one to take it in your life and say, this is the word of God. God never said it was his word. God never said here. You want to know why? When you was born, the Bible wasn't attached to your arm. When you was born, it wasn't attached to your forehead. When you was born, it wasn't in your face. When you was born, it wasn't on your stomach. When you was born, it was detached from you. You was born as a natural human being and you was attached to your mother's umbilical cord. That's your beginning, buddy. That's your start right there. That's your facts. So why would you deny your natural nature to take on something else that was programmed and given to you? Nothing was given to you when you was born. You was born with everything that you have. Your mind, your spirit, your energy, your cuteness, your big cheeks, your little bitty eyes, and your cries. That's all you had. Everything else is a program. So you hate yourself enough to deny your own self-thinking? Don't come here because you know what? I got several straight jackets and they're brand new and they're in plastic. And I'll put your name right on the outside and deliver it to you. That way you don't hurt yourself nor anyone else with your thinking. Because the moment you start thinking for yourself, you're going to do just like Neo. You're going to spit up. You're going to be angry. You're going to want to throw up all over the place and lose your mind. That vision is real and people do it all the time. Once you find reality, now you're mad and you want to jump off the nearest bridge because you couldn't handle reality. That's your problem. That's your problem because you can't face reality. Once you do, you're going to immediately need a straitjacket because you're not going to know how to handle living for yourself and not living for the system. Get me wild up. I'm glad I took a break. I didn't know I was going to go in it like this. I didn't know I was going to go in on it like this. There's a difference between check and checkers. There's a difference between chess and checkers. This is chess, not checkers. Y'all still playing checkers and thinking that, oh, this is the smartest I can ever be. This is what life have to be. They give you checkers. Hey, guess what? You can do double jumping. You can put the red block on top of another red block and make yourself a queen. You're a king now. No, you're still playing checkers. Try that on chess and see what happens. You'll be checkmated before you even realize it, and you're done. That's your mind. That's the minefield. And once again, after having a very good debate on having a renewed mind, and I gave them my spiel on what it was all about, one of the guys that was sitting there, one of the religious guys, he started shaking his head and he didn't like what I was saying. He was saying something like, I don't know, man, you sound more like the devil right now than anything. What are you saying, man? You don't like God? You hate God? Like, he clearly did not comprehend what I was saying. I said nothing about hating God. There is not a thing that came out of my mouth to say I hate God. I never said that I hated God. It had nothing to do with God. All this is human creation and human perception. So you are satisfied playing you're playing checkers and you think you're a man. You know nothing about chess. You know nothing about the higher complexity of the field of deception that is being played on you and have been played on you since you was a child, but because you was afraid of yourself and you need to suck on a nipple for the rest of your life because you haven't grew up yet. You understand? Your perception is distorted. So facing reality is hard. I didn't care what that dude was thinking. Morpheus, what type of Bibles you was reading from? Did the pastor hurt you? Did you just jump out of your church? You just didn't believe enough. So wait a minute. Wait. What did you just say? What did you just say to Morpheus? Like, clearly you don't know who I am. First, you never believed. That's why you left the church. I got up out of my seat, right? And like I tell you, like I always do, walk straight over there around my table, and all the rest of them looking like, got my dean in the corner. Like, okay, we need to. But nothing was going to happen. All right. Because he's not stupid enough to put him in a situation like that with Morpheus. That'd be the dumbest thing you ever do. You better walk away. No, I had something to say to him. So he was sitting down in a chair, and as big and tall as I am, I had to kneel. When I was kneeling down in front of him, I was still pretty much by that time I was at eye length with him. Like my head level was the same as his head level, but I was kneeling down. And, when your knees are bent, but you're not really kneeling, you're just bending down on your leg. I said, listen, sir. I said, the reason why I'm Morpheus is because I did believe. It's because I went into the rabbit hole. Do you not understand? It have nothing to do with believing. It's because I had 100% faith and expectation in the same thing that you are reading, and found out through being a man and through evolution, it was wrong. You don't do your research. You go by what everybody else say. You are the passenger seat of your life. You don't mind being blue pill beta and letting people steer you around. As a man, and a real man, apparently, compared to you, that's not my story of life. My story of life is to be the leader in everything that I do, and to cross my T's and dot my I's and make sure that it's accurate. And if I was never there, I'm not going to talk about it. If I don't know the facts of it, I'm not going to sit here and act like I do. And I'm not going to sit here and talk to you based on what someone else say. I'm going to tell you what I said. Does that have anything to do with belief to you? No response. Got up and walked away. And he's still sitting there holding his mouth. And you know how they do, they lean back in the chair and he start crossing his legs and just thinking, shaking his head. That's when you get to the point where you're like in denial. You want to challenge it and you still want to, here's your language again, believe that you're right. But you want to understand what that person is saying, but you're not willing to take that leap. You're not willing to sit forward and say, wait a minute, okay, what are you actually saying? Type of ordeal. I left him at that. He was pretty much almost quiet for the rest of the night. Couldn't come back with anything else. I was sitting there waiting, like, what? Okay, come on. As if this have something to do with faith and belief. Knowledge is where I come from. You're coming from indoctrinated programming. That's why it's called religion. I don't have a religion. You need a religion because you are a child. Because you can't depend on yourself. Your religion should be the library. Take yourself on a Sunday morning to the library and stop going to that indoctrinated camp called church. Start thinking for yourself. Then, matter of fact, we'll get somewhere. The young lady on the other side began chuckling, face all lit up. And I asked her, I said, why are you laughing so hard? Because the whole time she was laughing. The whole time she was just chuckling. And I was very impressed in this debate because she was the exception to the rule of everything I said about women. She was the exception to the rule. She pretty much gravitated to every single thing. And when she came back with stories. She didn't come back saying, well, the Bible said, well, when I was a Catholic girl and the Catholic priest said, no, she never said that. She said in story. So she said, I get what you're saying. At first, I was kind of nervous about this because a lot of people have their own perception, but I get what you're saying. I have experienced something in this culture, and what she was talking about is America as a culture, as a mind. There is an energy that America has, whether y'all want to believe it in your language. I say know it or not. The culture is the way that America carries itself and its expectations of value that we as a whole have supported or have denied or denounced, whether you like it or not. Because China, they live a certain way. America lives a certain way. Russia lives a certain way. India, they all live a certain way. Even though they have their own mix up there, They have a different culture mingling, right? Everybody have their little structural religion, but as a whole, there is an identity that you can relate to in every state and every culture. Yes, every country. But when you say the country, you get an identity from them based on national identity, or based on national rumor, or based on what the majority of people have experienced visiting that country. You got it? So when she said culture, she was saying America as a whole, and I understood what she was saying and understood it. She said, at the culture of America today, we abide by the law of our twisted nature. And she went back in history a little bit and said something that humanity as a whole do not really want to get along with each other because they have a higher tendency, or you could say ability that we lean on a lot, to fight each other, to never get along, to always disagree, to always conflict with each other. And most of it is based off of differences of opinion, and usually never on facts, in order to bond, get together, and to figure out a solution so we can be a better human race. Then what made it go even further, I was getting ready to ask this girl out. After this, she said she began to recite things that I have written in my book called 2020 America Rise and Fall Hard by Leon C. If you haven't read that book yet, shame on you. It is out there on Amazon. All right. Yes. 2020 America Rise and Fall Hard by Leon C. Very good book. All right. However, she began to recite not only some of the things I have described in the book, but also some of my audio talking about how we are so dysfunctional in our mind, and we are not really trying to come up with solutions for a better tomorrow only through technology. And she have explained as well to the guys, this is where she looked over to him, the guy who I was talking to, who is so-called religiously dumb, in his mind religiously smart, and said, I get what Morpheus is saying. It have nothing to do with your religious idea. It has something to do with facts and knowledge. You can't live life based on a book and perception and based on a past that you never experienced, know where you was at. You wasn't there. All we can do is make better for the future based on the knowledge that we have today. At this point, I wanted to get up and kiss her in the mouth. Okay, but I didn't. I was like, dang, this girl, all you men leave. Okay, y'all get out of here, and me and her are gonna have a personal conversation, one-on-one. I love the mind of a woman. I love a woman who's logical. Listen, Morpheus gets turned on by a woman who knows how to use her mind right, to put aside emotion, get into the logic, and teach me something. All right, then I'll be like, oh, I love this girl. I love this girl. I'll go past the physical, be like, this girl is awesome. That's quality, virtue, value to me. Wherever else you think, oh, she got to have a big booty. She got to be this short. She got to be this long. She got to look. No. Yeah, that stuff is quality, and that's going to be important as well. But her mind, the inner woman that she is, that's what I like. That's a plus right there. That fulfills everything else. And if she so happened to be beautiful, cute, virtuous, young, and all that great stuff at the same time, now I can say, amazing. So when she got done, I went in on it, and that's going to end this audio that we have here. And I'm going to go ahead and explain the conversation from this point on. It is true that the problem that we are having is human beings. I know I'm sounding like an alien right now, but that's just, there's no other way to put it. The problem that we're having is humanity as a whole, because our nature, not mine, yours, but our nature is to always destroy, to take, be selfish, parasite, suck off of the planet and try to go somewhere else like the parasites that we are. You got it? Dig up the oil, dig up the coals, dig up life and try to recycle life in our own image. Uh-oh. I just stepped on a landmine there. Y'all didn't get that. Try to recycle our junk all over again and give it a different name and repackage it and say, here, this is new. It's not new. It's been around for years now, a long time. By now, we should be an advanced species today. I've discussed this, and it seems to me like my friend in that debate pretty much comprehend, and she got the memo, wide and awake. But the rest of you, still asleep, going to be ran over by a freight train and don't care about it because you don't care about your own life, nor your mind, nor your children. These things that are done, why I promote advancement is for children. It's for them and their future, not yours. Even though you're going to benefit it, I'm looking 12 years from now and far into the future where the dumb programs that you apply yourself to and you are satisfied with, right? You can have your fun right now, jump on your head, drink your Jägermeister and stick yourself with whatever you want to stick with. I don't give a damn. I care about the children and what they are going to deal with 12 years, 13 years from now from your stupidity. If we drop this dumb behavior and advance like we're supposed to, know how to change our perception of reality the way that it used to be. You got what I just said? The way that it used to be with the values of life and family like it was supposed to be, and stop being so deranged and trying to challenge nature, then they'll have a future. Right now, they have no future because we are denatured species and we are becoming the cancer that we always was. All we want to do is tear up stuff. All we want to do is smoke, drink, party, be dumb, be ignorant. It's all about me. Let me live my own life on my own island. I don't care about the next person. It's all about me. I'm scared of you. I think you might have the Cocoa Pops. I think you're going to try to Cocoa Pop me. And you think everything's going to be fine, but that child needs a family. That child needs a different culture of America, not a plastic America, not a transhumanist America, not a womanized America, not a haphazard men with dresses America, not a weak passive America, not a religious, untruthful, lying, deceitful America. They need an America that is advanced to where it's supposed to be with virtue, value, and honor. Honor to life and honor to advancement above all things. Honor to advancement above all things, not advancing in technology. Y'all sitting back and allowing these people to create robot after robot, and all you doing is sucking on your finger because you've invested in it via the stock market. Because you're making money off of it right now. Because you're building up Bitcoins right now. You don't care about the future of children. You care nothing about them. Nothing, because you care about yourself. They don't need your dumb computer. They do not need your haphazard, lackluster behavior. They don't need your stock market either. They don't need your bad behavior and your false sense of reality and your denatured, I want to change my nature mindset. They need a bright future of common sense, logic, sensibility, free will, freedom, and the ability to be the human being that they are. You are helping the future to become a plastic bottle and got the nerve to sit here and say, oh, I love my child. The hell you don't. The hell you don't. Have never convinced me. Every single time, every moment I turn my head, you got a new device for something else that you can do physically. Every time I turn my head, a job is being taken by a robot. Every time I turn my head, a man, a little boy, right, can't find a good companion for a woman because the little girl is saying, I'm a princess before she's even the age 8 years old. So by the time this boy is 19 years old and she's 18 years old, she's going to think she's the queen of the world. And guess what she's going to do to that boy? I expect you to do this. I expect you to do that. I expect you to have this. I expect you to do that. I expect you to do this. And if you don't do it, I'm not going to be with you. I don't want you. And guess what that boy's going to do? Well, dang. I guess I'm just going to be sexually frustrated, ain't I? Yes, you are. And listen, and America's okay with it. The country, the world is okay with it. I know this is not just a world thing. It is, not just an American thing. I know it's a world thing. All right. But I have to pinpoint here because that's where some of the source of our ignorant behavior is. Because you want to know why? You always go to the major source. You go to the power structure. Yeah, there's other countries and states around and issues that you got in other cultural identities. But you have to go to the source. You got to go to the major powers that have the ability to change this thing around. And we don't want to change it around because guess what we want? Just our own life. I can do that any time of the day for myself as I want to. Any time of the day, I can just be, forget it. I'm going to just shut down my YouTube channel. Even though it's our channel, I can just be selfish. I'll forget it. They don't need it. They don't care anyway. And go on about my way. But yet I can't do it because every single day there's something new to take bread, water, and life out of your child's mouth. And you're okay with it. I'm okay. I'm making money from this is rising my Bitcoin. It's making it evolve. Look at this. Oh, I made 700 this today. Oh, nice. Not knowing, listen, the universe requires balance. Do you understand? For everything you create, there is something else that's being starved. For everything that you do, guess what? There's going to be something else that's going to be destroyed or devoured by what you have just done. The universe requires balance. Every time you want to steal and take something from somebody, somebody's going to be hurt. It may not be physically where you can see it, but it's being done. Oh, I need you to work longer hours. I'm going to make you work for this. I'm going to make you work for my relationship. Like what women do. I'm going to make you work to be with me. No, you're going to have this per year. You're going to have to have this. You're going to have to look this way. And men are like, what? What are you talking about? Check this out. So what's going to end up happening for them? Men are waking up and they're going to be the prize in their own circle. And those same women, they're going to be like, okay, if this ain't working out, I'm going to try to find out where that man is. By the time she wakes up and figure it out, she's going to run to that same guy, like that 18-year-old girl I was talking about when she was younger, talking about she's a princess, right? She's going to try to look for that guy now who she turned down when he was 18, 19, 20 years old or something like that, trying to holler at her. She's like, no, I don't want to be with you. I'm a queen. I don't want to be with you. I'm just going to go to college. I'm going to go do my own thing. Then when I get like 41 and my options are depleted, then I'll come to you. So if you can wait long enough, then I'll give you my leftovers. That little boy, he's going to be like, you know what? Nah, I pass. You know what? I'm going to go do my thing. So he gets his career. He builds his life up. He got yachts, boats, cabins over there in Florida, owning corporations, making more than 6 figures a year. Living life tall and large. Then she come around talking about, oh, remember me? We was in grade school together on Facebook. Remember me? I was we grew up together. Remember? I was that little girl. I was 18. When I was 18, you talked about you wanted to be with me. I'm ready now. But, what do you mean? I got married when I was like 27 and I got like 3 kids, but what are you doing this weekend? And then she tried to give him her profile, and her profile is usually going to be from her head up. It's not going to be from her head down because she knows she gained like 120,000 tons. So she was like, no, I'm just going to show you my face shot. So they meet up somewhere. That same guy. Oh man, used to be my, what do you call that? That would be the senior year in high school, going on to college for some people. You graduate around your senior year, 12th year, when you're around like 18 years old, depending on the school and the time, if you have flunked. But he might say, oh, you were my high school sweetheart. Wow, look at you. You're worthless. Like, no, well, what are you doing? What are you doing now for your life? He's like, no, well, I'm doing things. Yeah. You see that big corporation over there on the corner? That big, no, actually, look, you see that high rise? Just look out the window. You see that skyscraper? That's mine. She'll be like, oh my God, that's your, yep, that's mine. As a matter of fact, I got a meeting in about half an hour. I started swoop out and check you out. But look at you. You look, wow, you a looker. It's like, oh, well, you got a woman? He's like, no, I don't do that. I don't do dating. I'm not interested in that. I'm too busy protecting my investments in my life. I'm too busy. She's like, well, you can't spend time. He's like, no, not really. I got other things to do. But it was good meeting you. Wow, you grew. So keep me posted. Out of there, gone. And she's standing there. Opportunity, gone. Or like what you hear on the end of the video game, and when it says the end like scrolls up in the big red letters. The end. Why? Why is this disconnect so much of a reality? And it's going to be a reality for all of them because they're not understanding the balance of the universe. The universe demands balance. If you don't give it proper balance and you put your nature where it's supposed to be and you line up your logic where it's supposed to be, you're going to suffer one way or the other. Eventually, it's going to come back at you. It may not be today. It may not be a few weeks from now, but give it a certain amount of time, you're going to meet that very same person that you turned down or that very same situation that you thought was too good for you. But now it's the only thing that can save your life. And now you're at home, or they will be at home drinking wine all by themselves, crying and whining in their wine, whining up with their wine, whining up with their whiny dog, whining up with the whiny noise on their dumb TV, whining up with their own whiny self, with no compassion, no love, no partner, no sort of future. And every other partner, if she is able to procure one, and I'm sure she is, because there's lots of desperate blue pill betas in the world, plenty of them, right? Who is never going to stick. He would never be the red pill alpha guy. He would never be that guy who succeeded in life. The blue pill beta will never be an advanced man. He will be a de-evolved, weakling little boy that she has no choice but to settle down with. Because this guy, he is the guy who will say, okay, yes, ma'am. Okay, mama. Okay. And she will be miserable. And what is nature going to do? Nature will say, aha. I got you. You didn't want to listen to me? That's fine. Let action speak louder than its words. Let action speak to you then. And this is not about emotions. This is about facts. So nature will demand one way or the other. So there's your various facts there, various subjects. I know I threw it together. I skipped over a few for time's sake. So now you got a little bit more on what it means to play chess and not checkers for children. What does it mean to have a renewed mind? Have a renewed mind in knowledge, not indoctrination in what somebody else said. Now you should understand a little bit of basics of sometimes of the human race, where we just don't have control over, we just don't want control over our nature, because that's why the world is in the condition it is, because all we know how to do is destroy things, create destruction for the future that our children are going to have to deal with. So we are the parasites. We are the cancers, and the earth don't like it, but have to deal with it. until it puts you in a sinkhole or an earthquake or a tornado. Then the finality of it is yet to come. I got another audio that's already being prepared, and this one is going to be on fire. This is your professor in the Academy of Wowman. I know I gave you a wow effect. Like it, share it, and subscribe it. And once again, you need to check out that book, 2020 America Rise or Fall Hard, written by yours truly, Leon C.